somebody if you got someone. Don't you love when I come around? What do you say? Build you up, then I'll take you. I want some of your brown sugar. 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 Brown sugar, babe.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar Commentary, and I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos about Black entertainment, Black womanhood, and whatever else I feel like talking about this week. All right, let's get right into it. So, we are moving right along in our weekly Insecure Season 5 recap and review. This is episode 9. We literally have one more episode, y'all, and I'm so going to be emotional next week. Like, I'm going to be so freaking emotional. But this is episode 9 out, okay? And a lot happened this episode, okay? So we can't be dilly and dally, and let's just get right into it, okay? So this episode starts out with Issa and Nathan touring an apartment together because if you remember from last episode, Nathan suggested the idea for them to move in together. And so I guess instead of them moving into each of their apartments, they're going to get a new space. And, you know, Issa's talking about the space. They're walking around. They're talking, she's saying, you know, it's, you know, it's like a short commute from Nathan's job. And it's also, no matter what she goes with, you know, she's caught between two options for her career, who she should partner with. But she's saying whatever option she goes with, it's a short little train ride. So, you know, that's good. And then they talk about a second bedroom because Nathan's like, I'm not sure if we need one. And she's talking about it could be an office or a guest bedroom. And, you know, she jokes and says, oh, just in case you need a little break from me or something like that. And he's like, I'm not going to need a break from you. It's cute. Okay, I told you. I don't care. I'm down for the ride. I don't care if they're boring. I don't care if you're not here for Issa and Nathan. It's very much Team Issa, Team Nathan around here, okay? Even though I know it's not going to happen, especially the way that this episode ended. But the thing is, obviously, Issa dead wrong for doing this. Like, she dead wrong for going to look at apartments with this man, knowing good and damn well she was fantasizing all up about Lawrence last week. She has no business whatsoever looking at apartments with this man at all. Okay? Okay? I do not support it. I don't support it at all. Okay? But basically, they end up, the tour meant nothing because the realtor literally, the moment they expressed interest in wanting to put down an application, the realtor's like, oh, we already sold to somebody. Y'all look like y'all really enjoyed it. I just wanted to give y'all that. And I was like, you shiesty, wasting people's time, honey. But then the next scene the next scene I believe is Lawrence. Lawrence is at Chad's place because, as we know, Lawrence moved back to LA after living in San Francisco. And so I guess he's still looking for a new place to live. And he gave up that real nice loft, even though, you know, he had no business having that loft to begin with. But he gave it that real nice loft. So he got to find somewhere else to live. And we live for Chad. I mean, this is probably the last time we're probably going to see Chad. Oh. I just thought about that. But he's talking to Chad about Tiffany and Derek's going away party and that the possibility that Issa will be there. And it's so funny that Chad does not know Issa's name. He only knows her as old girl. And that is freaking hilarious to me. Like, he had no idea who Issa is until Lauren said, oh, girl. Like, Chad is one of the best characters, like side characters Insecure has, period, hands down. But basically, Chad was talking to him and, you know, how saying that, and I guess Lawrence was talking about the fact that Issa called him and then he called her back, but she didn't answer and he's confused and whatever. And he, like, understands that, like, why they had to break up, but, you know, they never really talked about it. All this has been, what, a year now? Like, you know, whatever. And Chad's like, well, you know, you really didn't fight for the relationship and you really don't do stuff like that. Like, you just kind of go with the flow and kind of, like, let things happen to you, but you really don't. You don't sway one way or the other type of deal. I feel like that's the type of thing he was trying to say. And Lauren's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you know, if it was me and if it was a girl I really loved and cared about, I'm not just going to take the breakup lying down. Like, I'm going to try to fight for the relationship. And I guess that put a little light bulb in Mr. Lawrence's head, even though I don't understand why does it take a pep talk from your friend to realize that you should have fought harder for your relationship if that is what you truly wanted. But I'll get to that at the end of this review. At work, and Terrain comes in and he talks about the fact that he made partner, and everyone, well, she's super overjoyed, okay, very overjoyed, happy for him, like leaps into his arms to hug him, and the other two co-workers are looking like, what's going on here? And the two of them just have like this weird energy. It's not even like weird as in like they don't like each other or something, but it's like obviously they were not acting this way previously. So they're like, y'all are clearly, y'all must have slept together or something, because what's the given? They try to play it off, but it was very not subtle at all, okay? Them girls is on to them. But good for Terrain for making Tareen. I feel like I'm pronouncing his name wrong, but good for him, right? And I love the fact that Molly was just so happy for him. That just shows you that their relationship is on the right track now. So the bulk of this episode now takes place at Tiffany and Derek's going away party, because as I said, Tiffany and Derek is moving away to Denver, Colorado. So of course she went around up the people and get, your last goodbyes and all that good stuff. But I just realized, somebody brought up on Twitter, and I really put like a whatever in my head, like Derek and Tiffany stay having a meshy function. Like, look at that. Earlier this season they had not the baby party, and that was a big ball of mess because of Lawrence and Condola. Okay, then the one dinner they had, like season 1, very messy. The baby shower, very messy. Like, they just know how to incite chaos. Like, they just know it because they invite everybody. Like, they never sit there and take a consideration like, oh, this person got beef with this person, this is this one's ex, or any of that. Like, they literally don't care. They're like, look, I feel like they like the chaos. That's personally what I believe. Especially I feel like Tiffany likes the chaos. That's what I believe. Anywho, but they're having this event. It's very upscale and bougie because you already know how Tiffany get down. Okay, and literally everyone is in attendance. But the first people to be there is Kelly, Issa, and Nathan. And so they're talking, and I think, oh yeah, and then Molly walks up with Mr. Tureen, which I felt was a big deal because I feel like, most of the time Molly really doesn't get to bring her boy friends around except for Andrew, but that was because they were in actually a relationship. But like no one really prior to, she really brought around the group. So, I feel like that's a big step for her and Tureen, or whatever. So that was really cute, really whatever. But they're talking, and they're talking about Issa and Nathan talk about the fact that they're moving in together, and everybody's happy for them, as they should, okay? Even though I said Issa got no business moving in with this man. Neither here nor there. A bit of an awkward, like, interaction with everybody, but that was because he bought edibles for everyone to try or take or whatever, and he felt that because the party seemed hella, like, upscale and bougie, he was just like, I don't know if this is the right place for that. So he kind of like immediately got embarrassed, but Molly was there to reassure him, and then they both decided to take edibles. And you already know it's about to be a fun time from Miss Molly and Tareen, okay? Moving, like I said, on the other side of things, you have, like I said, Issa and Nathan tell everybody that they're moving in together. Everybody's happy for them, even though, like I said, no business doing that. And of course, Lawrence walks in with Miss Condola, which I don't get. It's like, yeah, I know her and Tiffany are kind of friends, but it's just like, you knew that Issa was going to be here and it's going to be weird. So why would you even put yourself in that predicament? And Lawrence too, like, once again, you knew, like, he's just messy to me. It's messy to me. Personally, like I said, Tiffany and Derek are messy if they did invite Condola as well, especially seeing how they were acting at the last function. But like, they super messy if they decided to bring these two along. That's just what I believe. That's just what I think. Okay, they like chaos. Derek and Tiffany like chaos in their life. That's just what I think. But anywho, so of course Issa spots him, and she immediately is thrown off her freaking axis, even though she should have known that this was going to happen. And then Nathan sees Lawrence. I believe this is the first time Nathan has ever seen Lawrence in real life. So, of course, his antennas is up. His guard is up. He immediately shuts down completely, which is one of the things I do not like about Nathan, is the fact that he shuts down instead of just speaking with his words, because then, like I said, him and Issa were joking, having a good old time, and the moment he spots Lawrence and sees that Issa sees Lawrence, he's like, oh, is that whatever? And she's like, yeah, and immediately he gets cold real quick. Okay, and then basically then Tiffany has a speech. She's like, thank you everybody for coming. She gives everybody a little, their speeches. Kelly's speech, obviously, or her response to Tiffany's speech is hilarious. She's like, I would literally kill for you. Like, even Derek, I'll kill Derek. Like, she's just so funny. Like I said, I'll miss their cute little friendship for sure. And then she gives Issa the most passive-aggressive compliment ever, talking about, you're the only you I know. I'm like, what the hell does that mean, Tiffany girl? And then Dro walks in, which was just like plot twist, child. Plot freaking twist. Even though I knew Dro's gonna show up eventually, considering that he did call Molly like 2 episodes back, and I feel like the show creators would not just randomly bring up Dro and like not bring him back. Like, I just feel like they wouldn't just do that for the sake of doing it without giving that some type of closure or whatever. Even though I feel like we did get our closure on Dro, like, that man was not in an open marriage. That's what I believe. He was not in an open marriage. He's nasty down. Bye to Dro. Okay? But anyway, so he comes in, so he makes a comment about that. And then after that, basically the men and the women split into 2, like, their own respective groups. And the men, okay, this is, like I said, it's the showdown of a showdown, okay? So basically, Nathan starts talking about barbecue and saying, I don't feel like the barbecue is all that in LA. And then the guys are like trying to, they most of the people in the group, I think almost everybody in Issa's friends group is from LA. If not, they've been living in LA for quite some time. So of course, all the guys, Dro, Derek, and Lawrence are defending LA and LA's barbecue scene. They named some spots, like whatever. And Nathan's like, well, I'm from Texas and Texas barbecue is good. And that is true. Now, I've never been to Texas. Well, I've been to Texas. I've been to San Antonio before, but I never had barbecue in Texas. However, in New York, there is a restaurant chain called Dallas Barbecue, and that junk slaps. And also Texas Roadhouse. Now, I don't know if any of those 2 things are exactly like what, if they're anything close to that, that's spectacular. So I'm not going to disagree. I mean, it's the South. Like, come on. But of course, they're like, okay, we get it now. But then but Lawrence decides to challenge what he's saying. He's like, nah, I'm still repping for LA. And there's some type of subtleties. It's kind of like he's talking about himself. Like, both of them is talking about themselves, but they're using the analogy of barbecue. And it's just like, it's the tension could be cut with a knife. And of course, Terrain with his high self is like, it's tense in here, is it not? Y'all don't feel the tension right now? It's very tense. And then Issa's brother tries to break the tension and like ask a question. The fact that he got a boyfriend within 5 seconds of this episode was just so freaking hilarious. And I love it. He's another side character that's very funny to me. And I wish we saw more of him. But that was very funny. But no, the tension could have been cut with a freaking knife. And of course, that just made Nathan all the more madder. Okay, he has to give something to one of the other barbers. I forget this barber's name, but it's like his friend / coworker. So he goes out to go from the party to go give the coworker whatever that thing is. And he's, like talking about, he's really mad. He's like, like, I don't like Lawrence's energy. Like, I'm not feeling it. He better, watch himself. And this friend, I mean, we all need a friend like this barber dude. He was team ready to go. He was ready to go. Okay. He was ready to scrap. He was like, okay, what are we doing? Are we fighting him? Like, what's the situation? Like, what's going on? And Nathan's like, I'm gonna play it cool. I'm gonna play it cool. Okay. It's nothing to be upset about. Like, I'm gonna just let it be, let it go, breathe, stretch straight, let it go, okay? But that was just very funny to me. He made his little barber point talking about, oh, we could give him a different type of fade. That joke cracked me up. Whoever wrote that line, shout out to you. That is hilarious. But yeah, so he goes back to the party. And then we get to the women's side, okay? Women's side, Molly high as a kite, okay? But they're all talking, chatting it up, reminiscing, having good old times or whatever. And then Condola walk in and everybody get weird. And this is the part where I feel like Issa did not have to say anything to Condola whatsoever. I felt like she could have just joined the other girls and walked away. Because at this point, Condola and Issa owe each other absolutely nothing. Like, it is what it is. I am quite sad that their friendship did not work out. Like I said, I really liked their friendship. They had a lot of potential, and it really felt like it was just nice and refreshing to see Issa form a friendship outside of course, the 4 girls or the 3 girls she's always hanging out with. And so the fact that Lawrence and his stupid behind really just ruined it, like, why technically it's really Tiffany's fault, because Tiffany the one that set them together. Like, why would you do that, Tiffany? Why would you do that? That's just, it's dirty. It's shiesty. Tiffany shiesty. I'm sorry. Either that or she, like I said, she like chaos. That's all that is to me. But basically, Issa and Condola have a very awkward exchange. She basically congratulates her on the baby and everything, and that's kind of just where it is. Like, there's nothing more, nothing less in that situation. Like I said, it was just a good potential friendship that just went awry because of this, and now it just got to be weird all the time. And yeah, so that was the girls' situation, and then we get into the evening. So first, Molly and Terrain, like I said, they high as a kite, so they have the munchies, and they go and they basically berate like the hors d'oeuvres like table in the back where like all the hors d'oeuvres are, and it's really cute and funny. And then they decide to hide because they think they're gonna get caught, even though they grown, like, please. But they go in the closet, and they have Molly has a very vulnerable moment with Terrain, which I love, because I feel like she never really felt comfortable enough with any of her past boyfriends, lovers, whatever, to really be vulnerable and speak on how she felt. Like, I feel like that's the reason why her and Andrew truly didn't work out, because she really just never spoke on how she felt and really let the walls down and just say how she, communicated better. But she talks about, like, this is going really good. I really like you. I just feel like this is like the shoe about to drop. Like, this is going too well. Like, I feel like I'm going to mess it up, because Molly does have a habit of self-sabotaging, because she does be finding good men. She just be getting in her own head and in her own way. But Terrain assures her, like, I'm never gonna get tired of you. I like you. I like, being around you. Like, it's fun. And I love to see it. Like I said, Molly really, and they have sex in the little supply closet, and it's beautiful. Okay, like, it's a good time. But good for Molly. I think Molly deserves love. Molly deserves to find somebody that really adores her and cares for her, because I feel like she's really been doing the work, and especially the season what she's been going through, she just needs a good support system. And of course she has that in Issa, but it's nice to find that in a romantic partner as well. So there's that. Oh, also during this episode, her and Dro do bump into each other and speak, but it's very like, at this point, especially because Molly's high, like, it's not like a tense scene or anything. It's very funny because she's so blunt, and Dro has no idea that she's high. And then she tells Terrain about it, and Terrain is just like very chill about the whole thing. Like, he's like, okay, cool. Like, that's your ex. She doesn't mess around. That's great. Like, I don't care. Dro also brings another girl around, and he got a divorce. Good for you. Like, I don't care about Dro. I don't care about Dro, Molly, all that. I was over it when the relationship was over. But good for Terrain for being a confident man and saying, I don't give a damn about that ex, and letting it throw me off my axis, unlike some people. Now let's get to it. Let's get to the showdown, honey. Okay, let's get to the piece de la resistance. Is that how you say it? You know what I mean, okay? You know the phrase. So, Issa goes to take out the trash. And of course, who is by the trash? None other than King Trash himself, Mr. Lawrence, okay? So Lawrence corners Issa and is like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And she's like, hello. Hi, how you doing? And he's like, why did you call me the other day? What was that about? And she's like, it was a mistake. I didn't mean to do it. Like, I meant to do it, but I didn't mean to do it. Like, I shouldn't have done it. And he's just like, well, I just wanted to ask you, are you happy? And I was like, what kind of dumb question is that, Lawrence? Why would you ask her that? She not happy, but shut up. Nobody asked you to ask her that, okay? But he's asking her and she's happy, and she's like not really answering. And she's just like walking away like, this is not the place. It's not the time or the place to have this conversation, Lawrence. I'ma just do, okay? And of course, Nathan is like, what's going on? What's good? What's happening? What are we doing? Why are you talking? What's happening? Okay? And Issa's just like, it's nothing. Like, let's just go about our lives and ignore this man. Do not talk to this man. And of course, Lord, the static was already there. So of course, the fire is igniting. It's ready. They getting ready to rumble. They getting ready to tussle. Okay? And Lawrence is, they doing back and forth, and he's like, what we talking about? What's going on? Like, whatever. And they about to tussle. They tussle a little bit, but not really. It's quickly broken up, and Nathan is just like, Issa quickly goes to Nathan to console him, but Nathan don't want no parts. He's just like, let me go, get off me. I don't, leave me alone, let me breathe. And Issa's just sitting there like, what the hell? And of course, Molly loved to ask about, is she good? Like, no, you see what just happened? You see her life? It's a shit show. It is a shit show. And that is how this episode ends, babes. And boy, I don't know how they're gonna wrap this Hot Mess Express up in one episode, one 30-minute episode at that. I mean, it would just be great to give us fan service and give us a 1 hour episode for the last one, but I really doubt it. They have really stand firm on the fact that this show is 30 minutes and nothing more, nothing less, okay? I doubt they'll do it, but it'd be real cool if they did, because there's a lot of loose ends we have yet to tie up. So, let me give my thoughts for the episode. So, like I said, Molly and Terrain, this definitely solidified. I mean, the wings and the wine definitely solidified it. But this, like, the chemistry between them, like I said, the way that he really just cares for Molly is just beautiful. And I love to see it. And I hope in the finale they continue to date. And, you know, I hope this is her forever man, okay? Two, I know it's probably gonna be like a girls' trip or some kind because Tiffany's supposed to come back because for her birthday after she moves or whatever. So I feel like there's gonna be one last hurrah with the girls. So it's gonna be very interesting. I'm still pretty bummed that my girl Kelly never got her own episode this entire season. I feel like one of those slower moving episodes we could have just swapped out for a Kelly episode. I mean, we gave Lawrence and Canola a whole damn episode. We could have gave my girl Kelly one because we've literally been begging for this from day one, and the fact that y'all completely ignored it, like, it's just like, you know, and I felt like it was going somewhere, especially in the beginning when we were talking about how people thought Kelly was dead and she was having this existential crisis. And while, you know, we see glimpses of her, like, progress, it would just have been nice to see, like, what is Kelly's life like? Like, what is her day-to-day like? Just one freaking episode. Or even, like, half of the episode. Like, she could share it with somebody else. Like, maybe her and Tiffany could have shared the episode where we learned about that. Because we still didn't even really know about the fallout with Tiffany's postpartum. Like, it was just a thing that happened, and then we just kind of, like, moved past it. And it's just like, I get it. There's only 10 episodes, 30 minutes. We got a lot of stuff to cover, but, like, it just sucks that certain characters just didn't get the justice that they deserved. That's just my opinion. Like I said, I feel like Kelly was just underutilized overall throughout this thing. Like I said, I guess they gave her more to do compared to other seasons, but it still was not enough for me. And that's really disappointing. I am a firm believer that Issa is probably going to just choose herself for the end of her career, which more power to her. I already told y'all this from the beginning, and that's where I felt the show was going to go. But it definitely, as the episodes go on, and especially at this little tussle and rumble, it's definitely giving that she's just going to choose herself. It's very obvious that her and Nathan is not going to work, because the fact that you can sit there and still have lingering feelings for Lawrence, regardless if you want to be with Lawrence or not, the fact that you just think about it. And like I said, it's just something about Issa with Nathan. She just does not seem 100% present or happy. And so for that, let that man loose, let him free, let him go. Okay? It's just not giving. And Lawrence, absolutely not. Like I said, it should not have taken Lawrence over a year to realize that he should have fought for his relationship. Like, what are we doing here? And that made him go be a daddy. He just started being a good daddy. Like, go be a good father. Focus on yourself. Because I feel like Lawrence is another character. Like, he just always with somebody. Like, go by yourself, man. Like, chill out. Figure out what makes you you. Like, seriously, you just got your career together, and even that, you just lost the job. You quit your job. Be a daddy, because I really think him and Condola down the line could possibly be together. Like, I definitely see the potential there. Like, and especially because the main reason why the only reason he broke up was because, well, one, technically Laura still has feelings for Issa, and two, like, Condola saw she didn't have a future with him, even though she had a baby by him. But now that she sees that he has potential to be a good daddy, he could be a good husband too. You know what I mean? I don't know. I could definitely see them together though. But Issa, I feel like, has progressed way too much to be with no damn Lawrence. Like, it's just a comfort zone for her. It's just a familiar thing. But at the end of the day, she's a grown and evolved way too much to be with this man. My prediction of who she gonna go with, I definitely think she gonna go with Crenshaw, because Crenshaw, it would just be full circle. Like I said, Issa has a lot of passion for her city, and just being in her, where she's from, is a big deal to her. And I don't feel like in the long run, constantly going out of the state and doing things like not in her town would kind of defeat the whole purpose of her whole, block business and all of that. Like, I just feel like her heart and soul is in LA, where she's from, and so Crenshaw would be the best bet for that. And I feel like that's definitely where Issa's gonna go. Period. Yeah, it's crazy that we already at episode 10, or episode 10 is right there. But I still enjoyed this season. Like I said, is it as strong as last season or like season 1? No, but I still enjoyed it. I still think we had some good moments. Still don't understand how we underutilized Kofi. Like, Kofi didn't take his shirt off once. He ain't kissed nobody. Like, what? It'd be crazy, the plot twist, though, that allow her and Crenshaw get together. But I feel like if she's going to go business with him, she's not going to date that man. I would, but that's me, and that's why I'm not a business lady, okay? But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. It was definitely the type of chaos and craziness that the fan base wanted. And I enjoyed it, and it definitely had us talking. So y'all let me know all your thoughts and opinions about this episode. Do you think she's gonna choose Nathan or Lawrence or herself? And do you think she's gonna go with NBW or Crenshaw? Let me know what all your predictions for the finale is. What do you think about this episode? Let me know, and I will definitely see y'all in my next video. Thank y'all, and peace out.